The Shepnaz podcast begins now.
Welcome to the Shepnaz podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm your host today. And today we're continuing a conversation from yesterday. We're talking with Pastor Noah about Jordan's Crossing. And yesterday we kind of talked about how he originally got involved in some of his ministry experience. And we're going to continue with that, but we're also going to get a little more into what the programming is available and maybe how you could actually get involved with it if you're interested as well. So welcome back in, Pastor Noah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Good.
So like I said, yesterday we were kind of talking about your experiences, and I had shared this morning during prayer time that a book that we've been reading kind of as staff and part of a kind of a vision planning meeting is called Future Church. And in that, one of the things that is talked about is, you know, the feeling of what's the difference in ministry between being Bruce Wayne or Batman, you know, right. And sometimes Bruce Wayne's kind of the stuff that has to be done, but you don't get to be, you know, in the action, and kind of when you have the opportunity to be Batman, you're kind of more in the action of it. I would imagine there are times when, you know, you're out and ministering to the homeless that you kind of feel like you're having this Batman moment.
That was something I actually struggled with coming on full time at the church, because honestly, with homeless outreach, there's very little Bruce Wayne moments,
right?
And it's strictly Batman, and it's very encouraging because you are seeing the life change every day. Like you're seeing somebody accept Jesus, you're leading somebody to the Lord, and so then to come and sit in an office for like 8 hours, I'm just like, we're not getting it done.
It's not cutting it. Well, and as
I had to learn.
As Pastor Kevin mentioned, like there has to be a balance, because when you step into more of a leadership role, it's about helping other people be Batman. Right. And that doesn't mean that you should totally walk away from that. You do need to have those experiences because it keeps you fresh and it reminds you of why you're doing all the other stuff in the first place. But yeah, it does take on a little bit different feel when it's like you spend more of your time preparing and equipping others than you are actually getting to see the fruits of it yourself. I mean, so tell us, you had mentioned that there's, you know, a building on the west side of Columbus that Jordan Crossing runs out of, and that they kind of get a lot of resources, maybe from overstocks from Amazon or other places. One of the reasons that we were wanting to focus on Jordan Crossing anyhow, we had already talked about that, but one of the reasons why we kind of moved it up on the calendar to now is because they're facing some challenges as far as being able to have enough resources to minister to everyone. So if you could speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, so the programs that are really affected kind of by this, I don't want to get political at all, but some of this government changes and some of the government spending has really impacted missions like this and ministries like this. And like Mid-Ohio Food Bank has been closed for like 2 months due to tech stuff and due to some of the other government spending, and now even some of our grants are getting taken and are not refunded. So several staff people, transparently don't have funding for this year. So that gets tough and sad. And but right now we're struggling to get food from Mid-Ohio. That's who kind of supplies our food. And so right now they're just needing, because right now our programs are, if you come in 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, you can get some sort of packed meal, peanut butter and jelly, chips, fruit, donut normally. And then starting from 11:30 to whenever we run out, you can get actually like a hot meal, like a homemade meal every day. And it's pretty incredible. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon is our food market, to where we bring all the food outside, and you can actually do a drive-through. The line's wrapped all the way around the street, but you have probably about 100 cars come through in a drive-through, and then all the walk-ups. People who don't have a car or walk there can walk up and come through the line. And that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. And so tons of food is going out, like tons and tons of food. And so when something like Mid-Ohio is closed for 2 months, it's hard and it's scarce, and a lot of people are going without the supplies. And we even ran out of bread the other day to make the sandwiches. And so kind of that need that I heard of just, oh crap, we're doing this. Well, we do 1 for 1, or if you're in person at any of our campuses and online, we give $1. And so that's a lot of money throughout the month. And so to be able to give that to them has been very encouraging to them and encouraging to me too, to have a church family that, invest in that type of stuff, and then to be able to see the actual fruit of it in first person. Like I've never been able to do that before with 1 for 1. So to have it come to a ministry that I'm on staff at is pretty cool.
Well, yeah. And just to realize that what we're doing does make an impact.
Right.
Now, and it's great that we're giving, but it's more than just writing a check.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you've kind of been coordinating at the Johnstown campus is a serve opportunity. So talk a little bit about that. And for those that would want to be involved, whether they go to the Johnstown campus or they're online or Gahanna campus, how they could be involved in this.
Yeah. So part of my job as outreach pastor is to take the congregation and equip them to live missionally. And so I think a perfect opportunity right now is to go do this at Jordan's Crossing. So Saturday, October 11th, at 8:30 to probably around 10:30 or 11, however long we want to stay, or whenever we run out of stuff to do. We're taking a team from Johnstown to go down there to Jordan's Crossing to serve. I'm planning on doing breakfast. We're going to make a homemade breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage. And then we're going to pack some meals for some people. And then if we have enough people who want to go, we can potentially go out to some of the camps. And you guys can see some of the realness of unhoused people and their living and the addiction. If we have enough people who are interested in doing that, we could work something out. But yeah, we're going to be going down there October 11th. Is that next Saturday?
The Saturday after. Couple Saturdays.
So if you're interested in Gahanna, we can create a sign up, or if you send me an email, we can get you the information on where to meet, where to go. I think we're going to do a carpool situation in Johnstown for some people, so we could get something in Gahanna working as well. If you don't want to drive necessarily that far, it's on the west side of Columbus. So,
all right. So, when you started doing this kind of ministry, and as you shared yesterday, wasn't necessarily your idea originally.
No,
but once you started doing it, you're like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
But maybe what was the difference between your perception and reality when you were first going out there and you walk into your first homeless camp and like you see the reality of what's happening out there? What was the difference between what you thought it was going to be and what it was?
Homeless people are chatty. They are chatty. That was the biggest fear I had, was that I don't know what to say. And believe it or not, you don't got to say anything. You
just show up.
If you go up and say, hey, how are you doing? You're in for 15 minutes until you walk. Sometimes, depending on what drug they're on, you're just going to have to walk away, and they're going to keep talking, and that's fine. But they all have a story. They're not out there. They're out there on bad luck and out there for decisions they've made. But to see the person in them and to see the personality in them changed my life. That these are humans. These are people who, yes, made bad decisions to get out there, but they're not in that decision anymore. It's no longer a decision. It's not just go find a job, because the reality of fentanyl is when you take fentanyl, you're high for not even an hour, and then within the third hour, you're withdrawing severely to where your flu symptoms to times 100. So that's not a long window to get your crap together, because if you're high for the first hour, not even 45 minutes, you have to now, that in the next hour and a half, you're going to be feeling very sick. And so you have to find $50 to get high. And to watch that is just miserable. And then to watch somebody withdrawing is even more miserable because it is just an unreal lifestyle. And so you're up for 4 or 5 days at a time, trying to find how to get high. And so to see that reality that, okay, this isn't a go walk into McDonald's and start flipping burgers. Like that's not realistic. And then at that time, when you're that in that light, and I get that they've made decisions to get there. Yes. But you don't have an ID, you don't have a birth certificate. And I'm going to be honest, a lady we're kind of ministering to and now, is 14 years old, pregnant and smoking meth because her mother's out there and her brother's out there. So her mom had her in foster system, but her foster people were abusing her. So that's the reality, is that a 14-year-old girl is not given the chance to succeed, and that's just when we found her. We don't know how long she's been out there, but at 14, she's drug addicted and pregnant, and then her mom's out there. So that makes leaving impossible, and that makes leaving so much harder. So she can't go get a job. And that's the reality of people who are homeless, is that not very many of them have been out there, just in their 40s. Like, this has been a lifestyle. This has been trauma after trauma after trauma, and abuse after abuse after abuse that has led them there. And so this is no longer a choice. This is my life. And so to meet somebody where they are in that situation, it takes a lot out of you. Yeah. And I go home very empty a lot of days. Like last Friday was a tough day because I see this 14-year-old who is with this very older man, and it's miserable. And there's not much you can do until she's ready, until she makes that decision. So that's the reality. Is it's disgusting. And so you have to go meet them. You have to see where they are, hear the hurt, hear the pain, and realize, oh, this is not a go get a job type deal. Like, it's deeper than that. And you are wherever you started using. So these people who start using at an adolescent age, they don't grow up. Your mind is forever at 15, 16, 17. Whenever you started, we have a 45-year-old woman who just got sober, who has been using opioids since she was 17.
Wow.
So in her mind, she's been using opioids for 30 years. She's 17 years old. Like, she thinks like a 17-year-old. She acts like a 17-year-old. That has never changed. And so when you look at a 45-year-old woman on the outside, to me, I say, get your crap together. Like, stop. And that's not reality. And so to get that, you have to forget everything you think you know about homelessness and addiction and sit in that with them. And it's hard. And it's hard to get there.
Well, I think it's some great insights. Tell us a little bit about the programs. I mean, you had mentioned yesterday and maybe a little bit earlier on today's episode about, feeding. And also I think you'd mentioned about showers. What are some of the other services that Jordan's Crossing is kind of trying to expand into or has expanded into?
Yeah, so we're expanding into job opportunities for felons. If you have a felony, it's hard to get a job. And so we're looking at how do we get people from homelessness to clean, and then once they're clean and have a record, how do they get into a job? Because what we're doing really well right now is once people come in, a very high percentage of them are leaving and getting into treatment. So if you need treatment when you come in, within the hour, you're on your way. And that's something we have pretty much perfected, that no matter what your insurance situation is, no matter what drug you're using, no matter what situation, we have somewhere for you to go. And that's what they do really well and what we do really well.
That's wonderful.
We used to, and then all of our feeding programs, like I mentioned earlier, showers Friday, women can come in from 9 to 12, and then from 12 to 4, the men can shower. Trying to think of other programs we have. We have a housing program right now. The funding is a little wonky right now, so I don't know if we're doing it right this minute, but if you are behind on your rent, or need rental assistance, we can catch you up to where you're at and then even set you up even higher to the next month or two. So if you're behind on rent, we can get you caught up, get you the next month, get back on your feet, give you the money that you need through the city.
Kind of a little bit of preventive work to make sure somebody doesn't go homeless.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that homeless prevention, that we're going to do everything we can to get you caught up. And tons of serving opportunities. We have several hundred volunteers a month. And so that's another program that is great, is to come serve. You can make meals. You can just come around and talk. You can organize. If you have my mom, as annoying as it is, really loves organizing. And so she can so she loves coming in and just seeing this closet of clothes and being like, we have to, or we just have this huge donation pile that we sort through as we can. And so she loves being able to come in and just be like, okay, I'm going to get this mountain of donation clothes down. And that's kind of our need right now is pants. We need pants. We need 30, 31, 32 jeans, or sweatpants. Any clothes you have is a need. Any food donations you can bring, you can give on their website at Jordan's Crossing. And yeah, all that stuff is what's 9 to 4 every day. And I'm sure I'm forgetting. And homeless people can come in. It's like a panhandling diversion. Like, you can come sit here all day. Nobody's going to call the police on you. So you don't have to go sit in front of somewhere where they don't want you, or they're going to be mad at you, or, so yeah, it's just an incredible ministry that we're able to be a part of.
Great. Well, I really appreciate you sitting down and talking to us about it. It's great to hear just, from a personal level, your experiences with it. And we hope that if you're listening today, that you'll take advantage of this. An experience like this might be the thing where you say, okay, Lord, I get it now. And so on October the 11th, there's this opportunity. Be sure to let us know if you're interested. You can always email podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know. Plus, also on our Sunday services, you can contact one of the pastors. For Pastor Noah, I'm Joe. Have a great day. This podcast is a production of the Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, Gahanna, Ohio. Email to podcast@shepnaz.org and let us know what you think.